The line tool is used to draw lines as shapes, and you can still increase their width and size after drawing them, but they are basically used to draw lines. And to pick on the line tool, you just click on the shape tool, right click on it, and you can pick your line tool from there. Now to draw a very straight line, you hold your shift key while you click and drag. Okay, and you see that is just the line. It does not look more than that. Now you can decide to increase the width of the line. Okay, now the default width for a line is 1 pixel. Okay, but if you don't want a 1 pixel line, want to increase it, you can do that by changing the width on the two options bar. Now let's say I want a line of 3 pixel, and I enter 3 and click. You discover that the width changes from 1 pixel to 3 pixel, but by default the width of a line is 1 pixel. And you can decide to fill to stroke a line, and you can decide to add to or subtract from shapes using the commands we saw in our previous video. You can also decide to draw polygons. Okay, and the default polygon here is a pentagon. Now to do that, you quickly draw a pentagon, and if you hold your shift key, it gives you a pentagon with all sides equal. And if you don't want to draw a pentagon, for instance, now let's create a new layer, or let's draw a pentagon or a polygon with 7 sides. Now to draw a polygon with 7 sides, you quickly go to your two options bar where you see sides, change the side from 5 to 7 and enter. Then you come down and draw a polygon, and you discover that your polygon is now a polygon with 7 sides, in this case a heptagon. Okay, so for as many sides or as you want the size of a polygon to be, what you just need to do is to go to your tools options bar and change the option for sides. Now the other values here remains the same for the same things we've done in our previous video, and you can also decide to change from the blend mode or blend options, just like we saw in some videos back. Do 1 or 2 tweakings, and you can decide to change the color by double clicking on the icon here. It gives you a color picker, and you can decide to change the color by sliding on the color that you wish to change. You can decide to as well make it opaque. All this works, but in some cases where you want to make a selection, you cannot select smart layer. Okay, you cannot select a smart layer. Now when we try that, now let's try to select our layer here. You discover that when you select it, let's say I want to delete that particular layer, you discover that it deleted the whole layer and not the selected region. That is because it does not work with selections until you decide to rasterize that layer by right clicking on the layer and then clicking on rasterize layer at the third or fourth group of commands from your right click options. Okay, now when you do that and then select it, you discover that your selection now works because it's now a rasterized layer. Okay, I'm repeating all of this even though I know I've talked about it before. It's very important because at times you might want to do 1 or 2 things and not knowing that you're still working on the smart layer. You might want to edit or select and maybe make some change to the selected area. It does not work with smart objects. Okay, it does not work with smart layers, but you also for some other things you can as well do, and they work very well. But working with smart layers is very good because it does not make the object to be blurred no matter how you resize it. Okay, and we're going to look at that in a different course, and you can check on our platform, and where you see non-destructive editing, we're going to talk about that.